Right. What are your thoughts on like plyometrics, box jumps, things along those lines?
Yeah. Box jumps are generally misused. So people don't understand, especially in CrossFit or in MMA or in wrestling. People use CrossFit for conditioning for the most part, which is fine, but they don't get the biggest benefit out of it, which is strength, speed, power, training the reactive part of the system, training muscle spindles. So absolutely fine as a modality.
What do you mean by they don't get that out? Like, how do they not?
So, for example, someone does a box jump. And they're like, okay, box jumps, I want to get better power in my legs. So they'll go and do like, all right, let's spar for 5 rounds, and then I'll go do 100 box jumps as fast as I can. You're not getting any faster like that. You're just getting more tired. That will not improve your power at all.
It won't?
No, because you're not jumping fast. You're actually jumping at a very submax speed the whole time because you're already fatigued.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So if you want to use those for power, now if you're using it for conditioning, fine, no problem. But if you're using it for the sake of improving your foot speed or your power or your strength or your explosiveness,
you should be well rested.
Yes.
Yes.
1, 2, 3 reps, take a break, etc.
What do you think of like that strong first protocol? Do you know the Pavel Tsatsouline idea that he feels that strength it's along the same sort of lines what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That strength is essentially a skill.
Oh, absolutely.
And that you should not be doing things to failure. That the best way to do it, in his estimation, is to do more sets with more break in between them.
That's like very strength 101. Like you'd have a hard time for a true strength person disagreeing with a lot of that. It's hard to get stronger when you're tired.
So going to failure is not as... Now, I've talked to a bunch of people about this that have started doing this recently, like within the last year or two, and they've all experienced great results. And that the idea being that you used to go to failure and then you'd be wrecked for like 3 or 4 days. Instead of that, like say if you could do 10 reps or something, you do 5, and then you take a big rest, and then you do 5 again, and you take a big rest. And then you wind up, instead of doing 15 reps, you wind up doing like 30 over the course of an hour and a half, and then you're fine the next day.
Well, I mean, you had Louis on, like Louis Simmons, right?
Yes.
This is
what
classic.
What a fucking maniac that guy is. Right? He was awesome. I love that guy.
I always tell my kids, my students, to Google him because I'm like, you're not gonna get bored.
Oh, listen to my podcast with him. It's one of the most entertaining things I've ever heard in my life. He's such a character.
The basic idea, well, we'll have to back up for a quick second because it depends on the goal.
Right. Strength.
If pure strength is the goal, failure also has to be defined. So what do you mean by failure? Now, am I failing because of fatigue?
Right.
Then he's totally right.
Right.
Am I failing, though, because it's too heavy? Well, you do want to go to that failure for strength.
How so, though?
So you need to, at some point, pick up something that you can't pick up or really close to can't pick up to get stronger.
Really close to it. Like you can do...
Right.
But you can't do a second one.
Right. Bingo.
So put it down.
Or maybe you could do 2, but you couldn't do 3 or something like that. The very textbook answer is anything below 5 repetitions-ish is going to be good for strength.
Yeah. So he believes anything more than 5 is bodybuilding. That's what Pavel says.
That's pretty dead on. I mean, he's not too wrong there. And reason I brought Louis up is he's classic for saying first reps. So if you did 3 sets of 10, right? Well, you had 3 first repetitions, right? So you had 3 reps that you did after rest. But if you did 10 sets of 3, now you had 10 first reps.
Oh, interesting.
Right? So now you did the same total repetitions, but 10 of them were done after full rest, which means you're going to have more power and more force.
That makes sense. That seems smarter.
That's basically it.
So you're better off doing 10 threes than 3 10s.
For strength.
For strength.
Or power or speed.
And then taking a big break in between them is sort of counterintuitive to a lot of people. They feel like, oh, I don't want to be a pussy and then let myself get fully recovered. I want to push while I'm still out. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Right.
We got to go to failure. One more. And they'll help you up. Come on.
Yeah.
I see that all the time. Meatheads in the gym. And they think that's the way to go. And I'm like, man.